As we go into the new year, you're probably looking for some fresh, brand new ways to level up your fitness and life. Well, in this episode, we have them for you. Tune in as we'll give you 3 fresh, brand new ways that you can take your fitness, your life to that next level in this upcoming year. Tune in and take notes.
Welcome to the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast, where we hear and learn from our coaches, CrossFitters, and Glen Ed community leaders. Now, here are your hosts, Dallas and Greg.
What is up, guys? It's Coach G, one of the coaching team here at CrossFit Edwardsville. And in this episode of the podcast, we're going to launch into some fresh, brand new ways you can level up your fitness and your life. Some basic steps that you can implement probably today that will help you to actually do better at following through and executing against your most important priorities. If you're tuning into this podcast, it's probably because you're either a CrossFitter now, or maybe you're interested in CrossFit, maybe you're CrossFit curious, and you want to know, can this help you to advance into that next level of your health, your fitness, your wellness? You want to look good, you want to feel amazing, you want to be empowered with the strength and the endurance and the stamina and the cardio and the flexibility and the agility to go out and live your best life. CrossFit is an amazing, I'd even propose it's the best way of achieving all of those things, but you might be looking for some simple, practical, actionable, everyday steps that move you in that direction. And the great news is, in this episode series, we'll outline some fresh and new ways that you can do just that. Practical, actionable things you can put into place today to start doing better with your fitness and your life. And we're going to start with number 1, set a bedtime alarm. What do I mean? I mean that having an alarm, a regular, repeating, recurring alarm on your phone that reminds you when it's time to start getting ready for bed, when it's time to get into bed, and maybe when it's even time to kill the lights and try to go to sleep. Why do I say this? For so many people, when they go to bed is a lead domino that directly impacts when they get up the next morning, the energy they have the next morning, and the likelihood that they are to get up and actually do some exercise at the start of their day as a way of launching themselves into the day with energy and vigor and a sense of optimism and positivity. For so many people, they know, hey, when I go to work, I got 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours that's committed to work. After work, I've got 1,000 responsibilities with taking my kids to sports, helping my kids with homework, personal responsibilities at home, like looking after the chores, going out to required work social events, hanging out with friends, pursuing hobbies. For so many people, exercising after work just doesn't work for them. And they know the only real way they're going to exercise is if it happens first thing in the morning. And it is amazing just how much of a difference it makes in your day if you can regularly do morning workouts. If it's a part of your morning ritual, there are so many benefits. You just feel better all day. Your energy is better all day. You have more optimism. You're more stress tolerant. Your energy, your focus, your ability to concentrate and give your absolute best performance cognitively, mentally, psychologically at work to show up the best you can for your kids. All of these things get better when you do exercise in the morning. It's one of those things that creates an amazing life, is having that dose of exercise first thing in the morning. But again, for so many people, that doesn't happen because they don't go to bed on time. And so having this little initial safeguard, a system that reminds you, now is the time to start getting ready for bed. Now is the time to get into bed. Now is the time to go lights out. Having alarms on your phone to remind you of this is one of the things that can push you in the right direction to have a consistent bedtime. Plus, you should know that having regular bedtimes and wake times improves the quality of your sleep, which means it improves how restorative your sleep is, how much recovery you get from a busy day's activities, how quickly you're able to fall asleep, and how rested you feel when you wake up in the morning are all functions of the consistency of your bedtimes. And so many people miss this boat because they just kind of go to bed whenever. If I'm speaking to you and you kind of just go to bed whenever, you need to take this step, this practical action step, and implement it in your life today, because it will definitely improve your entire tomorrow. That's number one, set a bedtime alarm or a set of bedtime alarms. Here's number two, get up when your alarm sounds. Some years ago, a mentor of mine taught me that if the very first thing that you do when your alarm sounds in the morning is you hit the snooze button and go back to sleep, what you're doing is you're actually starting your day with an act of procrastination. You're teaching yourself that delaying what I should do until later is something that I do. You're literally training yourself to be a staller, a procrastinator, a I'll do it later kind of person. It's a terrible way to start your day and a terrible precedent to set for yourself. When I learned this, I determined once and for all that I was no longer going to be the guy that hits the snooze button. So when my alarm goes off in the morning, I turn off the alarm and I get up and I begin my day. And this is what I recommend for you all also, especially if you did step one, setting a bedtime alarm. You have you've maximized the likelihood that when your alarm sounds, you're as functional, as rested as you can be, so that you can actually get up and go and start doing the things. Imagine this. Imagine if every single day you had an additional 30 minutes to do whatever you wanted. Imagine if I gave you a life hack that could literally add 30 minutes to an hour to every single day. Take your day to 24 and a half hours or even 25 hours. Well, guess what? Getting up when your alarm sounds is that life hack. It literally adds additional time to your day, because instead of hitting the snooze button, you get up and go and do that morning workout, or you get up and you spend that time in prayer, spend that time reading, spend that time going for a walk, spend that time reflecting or journaling, or whatever it is that for you brings out your best self. All of this is more possible. You get free additional time if you actually get up when your alarm sounds, and you train yourself not to be a procrastinator. Life hack number two, get up when your alarm sounds the first time. No more snooze buttons ever, 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 ever. That's number two. And number three, our third way you can level up your fitness and your life, is learning to say no to almost everything. What do I mean? For a wise man or a wise woman who is living their life based on priorities, top priorities, they've decided, what are the most important things to me? My health, my relationships with the people close to me, my career advancement. Chances are, if you had to pick, say, three top priorities, and you can only pick three, everything else has to be put to the wayside, chances are your entire quality of life would go up. You would feel less overwhelmed, you'd be less stressed, you would feel less pulled in multiple different directions. But all of this comes down to the skill of identifying what are the few most important things in your life that you need to say yes to, and saying and learning to say no to everything else. There is an infinite world of opportunities out there. There are a million things every single day, a million possibilities that you can pursue. Learning to say no to almost every single one of them so you can say yes to a few key most important things, I propose is one of the skills of the people who are the most successful in any endeavor. And just as importantly, one of the qualities of people who achieve true happiness and fulfillment and joy in life. Because real talk, most opportunities each day, most possibilities each day are distractions from what's really important. There's a lot of bullshit, a lot of nonsense. There are so many things that are good that distract from the few things that are great, the few things that are mission critical, the few things that are truly life changing. Having great health is life changing. It makes everything in life better. Having regular quality time with the people that you love, doing things that are mutually satisfying and rewarding is another one of those things for almost everybody. But learning to say no to the TV shows, the social media scrolling, the water cooler talk, all those things that slowly erode the time you have each day. They are all distractions. They all pull you away from what's most important. And I cannot emphasize this enough. You have to learn to say no to almost everything. Many people will message you, hey, let's go out to this restaurant to have whatever this evening. If those people are not if they're not in the circle of most important people to you, you shouldn't go. If somebody invites you to a party you don't want to go to, you shouldn't go. If there's a television show that you only kind of half-ass want to watch, it's mildly intriguing, but you're mostly doing it because you don't feel like doing the other things. Spoiler alert, you should be doing the other things. You probably know there's something very important that you should be doing. Don't let minor, unimportant things fill your day and keep you from doing the few things that really matter the most. Schedule in the big rocks first. The healthy activities, the relationship activities, the most important work activities, and let everything else fall to the wayside. The way that Tim Ferriss puts it in the 4-Hour Work Week is that you have to let a lot of little bad things happen in order to have any real agenda of your own. But that same philosophy is one of the things that will lead you to your happiest and best life. So point number 3 here, learning to say no to almost everything, because almost everything is not important. Only a few things really matter. To recap your 3 ways to level up your fitness in life. Number 1, setting bedtime alarms. Number 2, getting up when your alarm sounds the first time. And number 3, saying no to almost everything. I want to hear from you guys, though. What do you think about this list? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Tell us in the comments below. Let's have a dialogue about it. And your thoughts, your comments, share them with us in the comments below. Those will help us to know what direction to take our future episodes of the podcast. It can inform the conversations that we have. We want to hear from you guys. Tell us what you think is a great way to level up your life. Tell us if you agree with our list or you totally disagree. We welcome the dialogue. For now, we thank you guys for the gift of your time and your attention, and we will see you in the next episode. Coach G out.